Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? Simplicity. What a word. And yet, most of us spend our entire lives fighting against it. I truly believe that the answer to almost all our problems is to get to a space where we have freedom from desire, desirelessness. Ram Dass spoke about wanting to be nobody. You spend the first 18, 20, 30, 50 years of your life trying to be somebody, trying to make it with an intensity deep inside you that you have to prove to people, whether it's your parents, whether it's your brothers and sisters, whether it's your best friends, whether it's your bosses, whether it's your teachers, and all you try to do is impress them. You look to them and see in their eyes if they're happy with what you've achieved. Have you achieved what they expected you to achieve? And we think that what we want is what they want. That look of satisfaction in their eyes that you have achieved something. That grade that your teacher says you have to get, or your parents say you have to get at school. So important to get it, and once you get it, you're meant to be satisfied. And maybe you are in that moment. I'll never forget that feeling at university when I got my final results. And because I'd spent 3 years obsessing about getting this 2-1, this level which meant that I could then go on and do a master's, I remember having tears of joy in my eyes. It was an amazing feeling. But then when you take a step back and you look at that moment, when you look at life, when you look at the journey that we go on, yes, I guess it's important when you're younger to prove to yourself almost that you can do it. You can play the system, you can succeed. And yet when it comes down to it, is it really that important? I'm not telling you to tell your kids that what they're achieving and what they're doing is not right, because to a degree we have to play the system, we have to be human. But when you look behind the billboard on the edge of town, as Ram Dass calls it, and you start to unlock Pandora's box, you start to see this journey of life, the journey of spirituality and the depth of our souls. When we start to explore the real meaning of life, and when we get a glimpse that there's something more to this world than just school, jobs, paying bills, being rich. When we start to see that that is not the true essence, the true nectar within the flower of life, suddenly we then go on another journey of intensity, trying to search, trying to find, trying to discover, trying to understand what this new depth that we've discovered is all about. And the danger is that we go on this journey in the same way that we've been on the last journey, the journey of trying to achieve in life, in human life. The danger is that the journey of spirituality, the search for meaning, that we suffer in the same way on the journey to find the true meaning in life. But we have to stop, we have to take a step back, we have to remember that life is not a journey. Life is not an exam. Life may be some form of curriculum in a kind of divine way. But what it isn't is a journey to succeed. It's not a journey to stress. It's not a journey to show other people where we are. It's not even a journey for you to show yourself where you are. The whole point is the absolute opposite. The point of life, the meaning of life is actually to realize that we have to do nothing. We have to be no one, and we have to do nothing. The only thing we have to achieve, and achieve is definitely the wrong word in this sense, is simplicity, nothingness, desirelessness. Now the ancient Chinese philosophers, they call this the uncarved block. And the direct translation of the words in the Tao is easy is right. And what they say is the moment that you cease to desire, the moment you can find that stillness, that place inside you where you no longer need to do something, you no longer need to achieve something, the whole of your empire will be at peace with its own accord. And we talk about enlightenment, and when I first heard about enlightenment, again, I visualized this great journey. It's a thing that I had to strive to achieve. It was a thing I had to get to, a place I had to find. And yet human logic, when you are searching for a place, you go forward, you look, you search. It's a quest. But of course, heaven and the divine being a great paradox. We're not looking in front of us. We're not jumping in a car and driving to this place. We're not getting on a train and moving in a direction to get to a place. Oh no, it would be too easy to do that, wouldn't it? Actually, that would be too earthly to have to do that. What we have to see is the place we need to get to is the place where no transport will take us. It's a place of unstriving, of ungoing, if you like, because it's the ultimate place of letting go. It is the place of no action. And the moment that you release all this intensity inside you, all this heaviness, all this earthliness, is the moment that you're taken to this place. It's almost like the valley which fills with water. If you imagine yourself as a valley and there's a river that's running towards you, just by nature of being itself, the water will fill the valley. And that water is your light, is your ultimateness, your absolute essence. And the crazy thing is, you already have it, you're already there. But like a snake in the jungle, you just have to shed that skin. The skin that was never really you anyway, because it was all the skin that was created around you, all the armor, all the protection that you've had and accumulated over the years since you were a baby to survive in this world. And we have to accumulate that skin. We have to grow that skin at first, because without growing that skin, we can't let go of it and we can't become ourselves. Not even Jesus Christ or Buddha were born in that enlightened state, in that perfect, uncarved state. And the moment that you're there, that's when you see the wonder and the mystery of life. And that's when you see that your ordinariness just naturally gives way to your extraordinariness. And you stop obsessing with the future. You stop obsessing with that thing that you always felt you need to be. It could be anything. It could be a job. It could be a book you've always wanted to write. It could be a place you've always felt you have to go to. It could be a person that you've always dreamed of meeting, like that dream man or that dream woman that's going to walk into your life and satisfy you, and they are going to quench that thirst. They're going to complete you, when actually you complete yourself. If you spend your life just sitting there waiting for someone else to complete you, then you'll never quite get it. Of course, there are people that come into our lives and we feel the love. We feel like they bring the best out of us, and that is absolutely true. The perfect partner definitely brings the best out of us, but the best is coming from within us. They're just sitting there or standing there, being with us and smiling and watching our flower blooming, because they're just letting us be. They are holding space for us to allow us to become. Maybe they even give us some wisdom to help us to become our true selves. But ultimately, they are not the person that is making us, the person that makes us feel whole again, because there's only one person who can do that. And that's you. And I've realized that in my life, I've become obsessed with the person that I see myself being. I've become obsessed with the busyness of my world. And while I dance between the present and the future, this obsession with becoming something else or becoming someone even better, what I need to do is really take myself out of that future Peter Sanderson. I need to accept myself. I need to just be in that beauty of the moment at all times, not just in moments when I'm playing my guitar or when I'm with someone that makes me happy, when I'm playing with my kids. These are great examples and illustrations to me of how to be in the moment. But then when I start obsessing about the 10th book I'm going to write, or becoming a great philosopher or a great musician, that's when I lose my presence. That's when I become self-obsessed. My ego's going, you can be bigger, you can be better, you can achieve more. But hey, Mr. Ego, that's not what it's all about. The uncut diamond gleams brighter than the one that's already cut. Maybe to our human eyes, the one that's been cut is all shiny and it's these perfect shapes, it's amazing hexagons or pentagons or whatever shape we want it to be. And we think, wow, that's so polished and beautiful. When actually the diamond that you find in the first place, which is all dirty and craggy and misshapen, that is the pure diamond, and that is the real you. So stop polishing yourself, stop dreaming of being more perfect, stop trying to change yourself so the world sees you in the way that the rest of the world wants to be. Let go of all those obsessions that you have. I'm not saying let go of all your dreams. We're allowed to dream, of course, but don't live in the dream of being something else. The dream has to be you, it has to be pure. So when we try and dream a new us into being, we need to make sure that we're true to ourselves, that we're being present when we do that, and that we're not trying to change our naturalness. We're not trying to carve out a more complicated form of ourselves, because simplicity and presence and easiness and playfulness and mystery, the uncarved simplicity, is where we need to be. Don't try and be anything that you're already not. Embrace life. Thank you for listening. Namaste.